Hello, hello, hello. It is I, the old geek, and I'm joined by Iman, also known as Intellectual Quandary, and Daniel, also known as Guns Are Cool. Good evening, fellas.
Good evening, sir. How are we?
I do like it when people refer to me as Sir. I noticed
Sir
you were
Devere, by any
you
chance?
said there. I noticed you were doing your hair just before the stream. I went live. You getting a bit
What hair?
self-conscious?
What hair?
You're just trying to make me feel bad, didn't you? That's all it is.
No. I just noticed that you get those random little flicks.
The
Just annoy
strands,
you.
yes, the strands.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, all I have left on my head now is random little flicks. So yeah, I know them well. Good evening, chat. Hello, Halakar, Jean, and Daniel's chatting in there. He's not chatting to us, but he's chatting in there. He's chatting.
Sounds like his dog's doing most of it.
Yeah, nah. Apparently, my daughter's boyfriend showed up, and the dog's going on.
The dog's letting you know. Strange man on the premises. Strange man on the premises.
He also lets me know when a leaf falls off a tree across the valley. So,
Yep. Whereas mine doesn't even utter a sound when scumbags break into our shed.
yeah.
Unless they're an Amazon delivery driver wearing high vis and they're Asian.
Yeah. Those are the only people she barks at. I'm sure it's the high vis jacket that causes it.
Racial profiling, dog.
Racial profiling dog, yes. I mean, pretty much every Amazon delivery driver in our area is Asian. So I don't know if it's got to be the high vis. It's got to be the high vis. It really has. We'll have to test her out with. We'll have to order some curries and see and get them delivered and see how she reacts. Then she might go mad because she smells the food. Yes, she's a spaniel. What? What you say? I can't hear you. I can't hear you. You're muted.
Oh, sorry, I didn't realize I was muted. Yeah, she just look up at you like, "It's for me."
Did you? And I'm like, it's not for dogs. She won't understand. Tail, well, she doesn't just wag her tail; she wags her whole bum. It's like,
yeah. Is it like a kid at school when they like put their hand up and they're like, "Miss," and then like they start shaking it to get the attention?
Yes. Feed me now. So, been a bit of a naff week for games, isn't it? We played.
It depends on if you count Tuesday as a naff day.
No, Tuesday was all right. But we didn't play much last Saturday, did we? So a bit crap there. Shorter stream on Wednesday.
Yeah, true.
We do have a book for tonight. It is the new cover version of Caverns of Kalte.
Oh yes,
it could be Kalte, if that's how you want to pronounce it, or German would be Kalte, I believe.
Kalte, yeah, that's what I would say.
Yes,
I'm sure Manfred would agree.
I'm sure he would. He's not here to agree, so.
Or disagree.
Or disagree, indeed. Right, I don't have many people here yet. Is there something happening tonight that I should be aware of, or am I just disorganized and people don't like disorganized geeks anymore? It must be what it is. But how are you doing in chat? Right, Halakar's not going to be busy in chat because he's got a major project at work and can't chat while files are uploading. Okay, get onto your major project. And Jean has a habit of saying hello and then just lurking. So who's winning the game tomorrow, Jean? Is it you or Gingerbeard? Because I'm disorganized. I've completely forgotten. I think you said it was you. Yes.
Oh, they're not battling it out between them in Discord.
It was mentioned the other day, but I can't remember who it is now.
I thought Gene said he was on Wednesday, but I think well, I don't know whether they're going to have a boxing match over it. I mean, I don't know.
Hey, Dan, did you run the one last Saturday?
He
Yes.
did.
How did it go?
You'd have to ask the group.
Yeah, it went fine. It was fine. Yeah.
There he is.
I thought I did okay.
Yeah, it went absolutely fine. There's nothing to worry about, was it, Daniel, really? I know you was a bit nervous because it's the first time you'd run for a start.
But is that because he'd already done his prep? He was a good boy.
Probably.
I
Probably.
looked for 2 or 3 weeks for something suitable to run. So
yeah. And what did you end up running in the end then?
We're not done with it yet, though. So
didn't we ignored a lot of it, didn't we? We just went in and did our job and got out. And...
Yeah.
That's what always happens. You should know that by now. It's what always happens. You prepare all sorts of stuff, and if you'd have prepared something short, we'd have tried exploring everything and annoyed you.
And within an hour, we'd have been done.
Yeah, but if you
DM writes 20 pages and you only need 2.
We just plowed in, got the stuff, and got out.
Yeah.
That's the way it goes. That's the way it goes. It's all how much. If only we knew exactly what the players were going to do, it would save so much time, so much frustration. I might even have my hair.
Hey guys, just future reference. Before you invite me, before I invite you to play in my games, you have to tell me exactly what your characters are going to do.
I spent a whole week going through my old dungeon magazines, trying to find something that I knew you guys wouldn't know. Because, I have all kinds of modules, but I was trying to find something new. So I used that dungeon magazine.
I've not read that one. So
it's from January of 99. January
99. What was I doing in January 99?
I was changing jobs.
Probably still shitting myself at that time.
I was 2 months into my relationship with my now wife in January 99.
I was closing.
So I can guess what I was doing.
Yeah. I was closing the toy store and then moving on to another company owned by the same corporation. Big Lots.
I was working for IDOS Interactive back then. It'd been around the time we'd been writing the Tomb Raider 2 walkthrough, perhaps. I don't know, sometime around then.
For the PlayStation 1?
Yeah, I scripted the walkthrough for the first 3.
Oh, wow.
The one that I think that script ended up going online and all sorts.
That's
wow.
I didn't actually write how to do it. I basically sat next to my boss as he was given step-by-step instructions. He played it through to check it worked. Then I had to write it out in a digestible manner.
Did you get credited for it?
Probably not. Probably not.
Oh.
I don't know. I didn't actually help make the game or anything, so that's the thing. Didn't do anything. Hello, Storm. Hello. I mean, I didn't.
Oh, Storm. Hello, mate. That's one of my friends.
Oh, he's one of your friends, is he? Oh.
Yeah, he ain't your friend. He's my friend.
Oh, getting all precious now.
Yeah.
No, he's someone I met through someone else I know.
Right, so he's a friend of a friend. He's an acquaintance.
Well, you could say he's a bit more than a friend of a friend, but yeah.
Oh, why?
Right, I'll tell you off stream.
There are stories to share. Right.
Yeah,
We
nothing,
finished.
nothing juicy about me, by the way. It's more about him.
Oh. Right. Okay. Iman's going to tell me
Don't
everything.
worry, Storm. I'm not outing you. Don't worry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Iman's going to tell
John's
me
a good
everything.
dude.
Iman's going to tell me everything, and I'll blag it out on the stream in front of all my loads and loads and loads of subscribers, of which there are only 4 here watching. So anyway,
Thanks for being here, Storm. Appreciate it, mate.
it shows how much everyone cares. They've probably got work to do. Anyway, we're up to 5. So, Caverns of Kalte. It's a 3rd book in the Lone Wolf series. We finished the last session. We got the Summer Sword, and
We did.
we did, and we returned to the city and just sort of successful. We helped end the siege, didn't we? We had a fight with ghost ships and helped end the siege of the city, which was marvelous. So we go into book number 3, and here we go with number 1. Do I read the intro?
Straight in.
Straight in with number 1, because people should remember the intro from before. I'm not going to read the story so far.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll read the last bit of the intro. After the defeat of Dark Lord Zagana's army, Vonatar escaped to the frozen wastes of Kalte. He made his way to the ice fortress of Ikaia, where by deception he tricked the cruel Brummelmark into adopting him as his personal musician. That's the sorcerer that ran away, isn't it? It was a mistake that cost the barbarian leader his fortress and his life. The news that Vonatar still lives spread like wildfire throughout Sommerland. Thousands of Somlending marched to the capital and demanded of the king that Vonatar be made to pay for his treachery. So great was the outcry that the king gave his solemn pledge that the evil traitor would be brought back to Hungard and made to stand trial for his crimes. For you, Lone Wolf, the king's promise is one that only you can keep. It's the start of a quest that will pit you against a hated foe in a place colder and harsher than any you've known. It will take you to the Caverns of Kalte. Hello, Keith. Right, so off we go. We have a little picture of a boat on rather interesting seas. Even before you accepted the task of bringing Vonatar to justice, preparations were being made for your voyage to Kalte. The captain of the Somlending warship Cardinal, having returned from a long Kalte sea patrol, was ordered to await your arrival at Anscaven. During the night, food, ice, equipment, and Kanu dog? What's a Kanu dog? Kanu. Kanu dog teams were taken on board. The mission was highly secret. Only senior
Is that
members
what they call a canoe? No,
dog.
surely not. I don't know. That's weird.
The plan is to set you ashore at Halley Bluff, drop anchor, and await your return. An elite team of trusted guides will lead you down from the bluff to Ikaia. Once inside the ice fortress, you are to hunt down and capture Vonatar, and then return with your guides to the ship. Your mission must be accomplished within 30 days at most, for winter is closing in and no ship can withstand the grip of the Kalte pack ice. If you do not return in time, the captain will be forced to set sail without you. For 6 days, the Cardinal sails across the stormy Kalte Sea without running into a storm. But every day, the temperature steadily drops until a layer of ice covers the decks. On the morning of the 7th day, the snow-capped island of Tola is sighted on the horizon. Soon after, a light wind rises from the west. At first, there appears to be little danger, but within half an hour, a furious blizzard is blowing and all sight of land quickly vanishes in the scudding drift. All day, the furious gale rages. Tremendous winds slice the tops of the huge grey waves and water crashes over the decks, masts, and rigging of the ship, freezing almost immediately into solid ice. The sides of the ship become several feet thick with seawater. It is not until early evening that the weather clears, and although the wind still blows strongly, the force of the gale is spent. You're soon to discover that the gale has blown the ship nearly 30 miles off course, along the lip of the Lyuk ice shelf. You know that to return to Halley Bluff would waste a precious day, so you decide to land on the ice shelf and start your mission from there. As the last of the canoe dogs are carried ashore, your guides tell you of two possible routes to Ikaya from here. The first route involves a 130-mile trek to Cloudmaker Mountain, and then, following the difficult terrain of the Viad Glacier, a further 100 miles must be covered before you arrive at the ice fortress. The alternative route involves a longer journey of nearly 180 miles into the Harod Basin, followed by a trek of 100 miles through Storm Giant Pass to Ikaya. Even if the weather and your luck hold good, either route will involve 10 days of hard trekking before you reach your goal. You should consult the map of Kalte before making your decision. Okay, we have a map of Kalte. I hope you took all that in, because I certainly didn't. Right. That is the map of the land of Kalte. Don't ask me where we've landed, because I just read it. I don't take it in when I read out loud very well. So,
yeah, I can't figure it out either.
You can't figure it out either. Right, okay.
I'm sure it'll become apparent the more passages we read.
We're on the... Oh, right, okay. The Lyuk ice shelf is there. Can you see it?
Right.
Yeah.
I can if I zoom in, yeah.
Yeah. We've got to get to Ikaya, which is up there, the ice fortress. So we can either go pretty much straight through that more direct route or round through the Harod Basin.
Nah,
Okay.
straight through. Let's go.
Straight through and over the mountains or around the Harod Basin. Okay.
No, one simply walks into Mordor in this case.
Right. Well, we have choices here. We have choices. Do we attempt the shorter but more difficult Vlad Glacier route, or do we take the longer but easier Harod Basin and Storm Giant Pass route?
If you're still here, Storm, everyone in chat gets one vote.
So, shorter but more difficult, or longer but easier? Hello, Richard. How are you doing? Richard goes for the shorter route. Keith goes for the longer route. Storm is going for the shorter route. What about Daniel and Emon?
I think shorter. Straight to him. Let's go.
I agree.
Shorter but more difficult.
Yep,
Okay.
I agree.
Right, so that is
Nut up, Buttercup.
5 votes. We've got 7 in chat at the moment. 5 votes for shorter. I think that 160. Your transport to Ikaya consists of 2 sledges, each drawn by a team of 6 canoe dogs. This sturdy breed is native to Kalte and makes for ideal sledge dogs. Their thick, tawny coats and powerful chests, as well as their vigor and enthusiasm, even in the coldest climates, make them well suited to the work ahead. On board each sledge is enough food and equipment for the mission. Your 3 guides, Irian, Fenor, and Dice, are all experienced trappers. They are skilled at survival in the icy desert and know its many unseen dangers. Once the dogs are harnessed, you and Dice climb aboard your sledge and signal to the others to lead the way. As you stare across the frozen expanse of the Lyuk ice shelf, you can see a white glare on the distant horizon. This is the Vlad Glacial Wall, the point where the flow of the ice meets the frozen sea. Through the crisp, clear air of Kalte, it looks no more than 60 miles away at most. No, looks no more than 6 miles away at most, but in reality, it is nearer 60. You make good progress on the first day, and as darkness approaches, you decide to set up camp for the night. You halt inside a circle of ice pillars that have been forced upwards by the constantly moving ice shelf. The sledges are drawn together and the tent is erected beside them. Once the canvas is secured and the Kanu dogs have been settled for the night, you begin to prepare your evening meal. Suddenly, a terrifying roar is heard outside the tent. "By the gods!" cries Irian. "A Baknar!" Baknar are large carnivorous creatures that dwell near the Kalte coastline. Their usual prey are aquatic birds such as gorlings or small ostrils that live at the sea's edge. But this Baknar has been attracted by the scent of the dogs. It's going to attack and eat several of your sledge dog team. Okay. We have a choice here. It says here, if you have the Kai discipline of hunting, turn to a certain one. If you have the Kai discipline of animal kinship, turn to another one. Or the other option, if you choose not to use them, is to use force against the Baknar. So we have a choice here. Use hunting skill, use animal kinship skill, or you just use brute force.
Shit.
Animal kinship.
I want to say animal kinship, but the fact that it gives hunting as the first option, I would say that.
Okay, Richard's going for brute force. We can use skills as often as we like in the adventure, Gene. Keith's going for animal kinship. Storm's going for brute force.
Of course he would.
Gene's going for brute force as well. Okay. So we're at 3 for brute force, 2 for animal kinship, 1 for hunting. Ah.
I could have Kelsey log on.
Someone said nut up. Hey, okay, we're going to be tough. So, looks like we're fighting it unless there's any last late flurry of votes coming in. Not saying a goblin will raid your village if you don't hit that like button, but I'm not saying they won't. We do have Halakar goes for animal kinship. So
now it's a tie.
Now it's a tie. Okay, hunting, animal kinship, or brute force. Those are your options. Don't forget to like the stream, minions, or I will take your souls. It's about time Major's Musings did a video, isn't it? Hasn't Sean been crap lately and not done videos? No one's paying attention to me. Sean, if you're watching, you're being crap at the moment. Get some videos out. We need to hear about the Night Below campaign.
Yep. I do enjoy his videos.
Yeah, they are good. They are good. I know he's been busy lately. And I have started tracking the cost of flights, and they're still stuck at around the 610 quid mark, which is higher than I wanted to pay. So I'm being stubborn, not booking anything yet. Anybody else going to vote? Anybody else going to vote? See, I'd have voted for hunting personally, but that makes no difference because even if another vote comes in for hunting, it's still lost. Animal kinship and brute force are currently tied 3 apiece. We may have to roll dice to differentiate. Move tab to new window. Moving tab to new window. I'm going to open up Owlbear Rodeo for this purpose. Oh, you thought hunting was force? Ah, okay. Hello, Jeb. Oh, okay. You'll stick with force. Right. Okay. There's something attacking our party as we cross a glacier. And we've got an option of using our hunting skill, our animal kinship skill, or just brute force. You reckon I should break ties? But I don't want either kinship or force. I wouldn't vote for either. I'd either voted for hunting personally. But hey ho. Let's get Albert open. Jeb says hunting. Right, so the votes now are 2 for hunting, 3 for animal kinship, 3 for force. Right. And I think everybody who I can see. Is that vodka?
No, never.
No. Gene says he's going to switch to hunting. Okay. That just ties it up. 3 hunting, 3 animal kinship, 2 force. Right. Okay. Let's get this. Let's get this shared. Okay, I'm hoping you can all see. Excuse me.
No,
right, here we go. Odds and evens. Odds will be hunting. Evens will be animal kinship. And I'm going to roll a d10. Are we ready?
3. Oh,
It's hunting. It's hunting.
still odd. I'll take it.
Odd. Yeah, well, it's your odd. It's
Thank
hunting. You. Baknar are fierce and dangerous creatures. They are afraid of only one thing: fire. Grabbing a torch from the pile of equipment, you light it and leave the tent. The wind has become much stronger since you first made camp. It whips the fine snow into small whirlwinds that sting your eyes. A moving shadow to your right betrays the Baknar as it comes loping towards you. It is preparing to pounce when it sees your guttering torch and shrieks with terror. Moments later, it has disappeared into the darkness. A quick check of the Carnu dogs reveals they're all safe, but understandably nervous. To ensure that Baknar does not attack again, you each take it in turns to sit watch that evening with torches and weapons at the ready. Good outcome. Turn to 134.
Nice. Go hunting.
Hunting, if in doubt. Hunt. The following morning, you awake at dawn to the welcome sight of Fëanor preparing a hot breakfast. He passes you a steaming bowl, and gratefully you eat its contents. Then you begin loading the equipment onto the sledges for today's journey. It's a beautiful morning. The wind has dropped, and the air is fresh and clear. The Carnu dogs are strong and eager to be off, and for most of the day the ice is smooth and the running easy. By nightfall, you have reached Siam Island, a pinnacle of granite rising through the ice shelf to a height of 400 feet. You make camp to the leeward side of the island in order to avoid the worst of the night winds. And it says roll a d10 at this point. A 3.
I said 3.
That's a 3. You said 3 before. Turn to 57.
Still said it.
The next day is bitterly cold. A fierce northerly wind blows relentlessly, beating your face and drying your lips until they crack and bleed. Your nose begins to run, but the mucus instantly freezes on your lips. The sun is obscured by a thick layer of falling snow that mutes the light. Snow mounds and small potholes in the ice become invisible, and the journey is often brought to a halt when a sledge overturns or jams. Great strain is put on your eyes by the constant glare as you search the rough ice, which can be very hazardous. By midday, your vision has become a blur. If you have the Kai discipline of healing, which we do, turn to 17. We have lots of disciplines. We are level 8 now, aren't we? You recognize that you are suffering from the first effects of snow blindness. Unless you act now, the more painful symptoms of this malady will soon appear. Do we cover our eyes with a blindfold and keep them covered at least until we make camp later today? Or do we not blindfold ourselves and prefer to risk becoming snowblind? So blindfold, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
That way we can have a monster surprise us.
Absolutely.
Just
-4
saying.
to hit.
Yes,
-4 to hit. And 4 penalty to armor class. Something like that.
My, what big teeth you have, Grandma.
Oh, Keith says no. Keith's being contrary. Jean says no to blindfold. Right, we're on 3 yeses and 2 nos at the moment. Blindfold, yes or no? Richard says no. Oh, right, okay. After 3 yeses straight away, we've had 3 no's in a row. So, who is going to break the tie? Yes, a blindfold. Storm. Reckons we've got 7 people in chat, and that's 4 yeses, which means yes has got it. As gradually the light fades, a blizzard arises. It blows across the open ice shelf and batters relentlessly against the tent. Hang on. Is that right? Oh, yeah. Yeah. It assumes we've made it to the camp. The flapping canvas and the pain in your fingers and toes are beginning to wear on your nerves. Now you wish you had never set foot in this icy hell. In the middle of the night, the wind rips away the edge of the canvas and the full force of the gale scatters your equipment and provisions. You're forced to spend the rest of the night on your elbows, clinging with frozen fingers to the edge of the tent. Your sleeping furs fill with a half-frozen slush, and by dawn your clothes are stiff with ice. Lose 3 endurance points, or only 1 if you have applied Bacnar oil. I guess we probably should have killed the Bacnar to get Bacnar oil. Okay, so we lose 3 endurance points. Well, okay, that's fine. We're only down to 18.
We'll get those back in 3 passages anyway if nothing happens.
We will do, yeah, because we've got the healing skill, unless it says otherwise. The gale gradually drops and the air clears. The Vlad Glacier is revealed in all its grand splendor. The even surface of ice crystals look like a carpet of snow glittering with gems of every hue: yellow, violet, blue, green, orange, and crimson. Yet the crystals are of such brilliance in the sunlight they would put any jewel in the shade. The ice wall rises over 800 feet, and for the main part it is a smooth but very steep climb. Although the weather is fine, it takes the best part of a day to climb the glacier's edge. All the equipment has to be unloaded and taken to the top of the glacier, where it is repacked onto the sledges. The Kanu dogs do hardly anything but fight, and your food is so shaken up in the climb that a gruesome mush is all that remains of it. By the end of the camp, you're exhausted. End of the climb, you're exhausted. The daylight fading fast, you decide to pitch camp in the shelter of a natural ice bowl and settle down to a much-needed night's rest. Roll a d10.
Oh, no.
Oh, if you possess tracking, deduct 2. Okay. And the 0 counts as 0. So 6 or less. The other option was
Oh
7 to
right, yeah,
9.
because 10 is 0 in this, isn't it?
Unless it says otherwise.
Yeah.
So 85. For 3 days and nights, you fight your way northwards. Oh, look at this picture here.
What the hell is that?
I don't think this is here. That's another thing, but I just thought I'd show you that one. Yeah. For 3 days and nights, you fight your way northwards across the tortuous glacier. Falls, bruises, cut shins, awkward crevasses, razor-edged ice, and the constant bitter wind all conspire to sap your strength. However, you count yourself very lucky to have so far avoided a blizzard. And after a fatiguing trek, you eventually reach the shelter of Cloudmaker Mountain in time to set up camp here for the night. This huge mountain is over 13,000 feet high and shaped like a giant shark's fin. As the cold west winds blow around its peak, great plumes of cloud trail away across the Vlad Glacier. It is this strange phenomenon which gives the mountain its apt name. Fortunately, you're able to find an ideal campsite among the shattered fissures at the rock-strewn base. Quickly, the tent is up, and you're under canvas once again. You have left the tent to answer a call of nature when you discover purely by chance what appears to be the faint glow of torchlight seeping from a small crack in the rocks above. If you have the Kai discipline of Sixth Sense, turn to 98. It has been the most useful discipline so far. Apart from healing.
By far. Yeah.
Apart from maybe healing. I think healing and Sixth Sense have been massive. That reminds me, we should heal too.
In terms of like a passive skill, healing is the best, but Sixth Sense is like an active thing, isn't it?
Yes. You sense the presence of someone or something lurking inside the fissure. You're unable to tell for sure if their intentions are good or evil. Do we explore the fissure or do we return to the tent?
Explore.
So explore or return. Gene says explore.
My logic is every single other time Sixth Sense has said definitely good or definitely bad. So if it's not saying definitely bad, then maybe that's a good thing.
Maybe. Or maybe the writer has realised that Sixth Sense is too powerful and has eased it back.
Yeah, he's trying to retcon it now.
Yeah. Trying to get my dinner around.
What's for dinner tonight?
Tacos.
Nice.
I have never, ever had tacos in my life. Never.
I've had them
missing out on something. Just saying.
Do they do good tacos in Canada or not?
I don't know about Canada.
Well, I'm going to be in Canada in October, so do I say to Sean, take me for tacos?
I would say yes. It's pretty hard to screw up a taco.
I would
is a little bit of seasoning, ground up hamburger, and then whatever toppings you want. Like typically it's lettuce, tomato, onion, like cheddar cheese, or some kind of cheese, and then a little bit of taco sauce.
Oh, there's a kit at supermarkets. Oh, fair enough.
Yeah.
I would pose the question, and then if he says, "Oh, there's no good taco places around," then I'd take his word for it.
That's like Tuesdays. We go. The town I work in St. Mary's, they do 3 tacos for $3.50. So
That's a steal.
yeah, we normally do that.
Have you ever seen the YouTube channel Beard Meets Food?
Yes.
Oh, I watch him regularly.
Yep.
Have you seen him beating taco records?
Yeah.
No, I may have.
Wasn't it about 50 tacos in an hour he did or something?
Wow.
I saw him beat a chicken wing record. He did 60 of them in like an hour. It was ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. He's only a little guy as well.
Yeah, it tends to be the smaller people that can eat more.
I used to be able to eat a lot, but my stomach goes blah, 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 at me now. So be careful.
Hey, don't worry. When Beard Meets Food reaches 50, I'm sure he'll be the same.
Oh yes. Okay.
So what have we decided explore?
My wife never goes anywhere near the international food aisle, and she does the shopping. I avoid supermarkets wherever possible.
I only go to like look at women. I let the wife do the shopping.
Nothing wrong with look but don't touch. When you're married,
Well, she even pulling them out sometimes. Like, I'm like, thanks, I'm going over here. So, what are we doing?
well, we've only got we've got a fair few lurkers now. Lurkers. Do we explore this fish or do we return to the tent?
Explore.
So
I mean,
on
I
four
said explore. We've got 2 explorers in chat.
Yep. That's 4 votes
I
for
think
explore
Dan
and
said
none for
explore.
return to the tent. So I'm going to say that's what we're going to do. Lurkers, you're too late. 49. You have climbed 15 feet to a thin ice ledge. From here, you get a clear view of the fissure. You think you catch a glimpse of someone in the distance when suddenly the ice gives way beneath your feet and you fall headlong into a roaring tumble of granite and snow. You prepare yourself for the shock of impact, but you plunge straight into a crevasse hidden beneath a layer of powdery snow. For what seems like forever, you crash and tumble downwards. Finally, you come to rest in a deep drift of soft snow some 200 feet below the surface. Blinded, dazed, and half suffocated by the powdery snow, you begin to claw your way out of this icy grave. When eventually you free yourself, you're astounded by the sight that meets your eyes. A vast corridor. Just need to Thank you, Hungar. Indeed. We haven't had any. We've had one option to beat something up so far, and we didn't. We just chased it off with fire. So a vast corridor disappears away into the distance as far as your eye can see. Huge stalactites of crystal hang from its icy ceiling, and the constant drip of melting snow fills the echoing corridor with a strangely musical sound. You shout for help until your throat becomes dry and sore, but your guides do not hear you. You still have your weapons, gold crowns, and any special items, but you are without a backpack. It's still in your tent. Looking up, you see that the hole through which you've fallen is now just a tiny speck on the roof of the passage. You notice that the strange light of the ice corridor seems to come from a large stone bowl hanging from the ceiling. These are Chianti Malar bowls, a source of eternal light brought to Magnamund by the ancients many ages ago. You soon realize that your guides may never find out where you are and quickly resolve to follow the corridor in the hope of finding another exit. After 2 hours of walking, you arrive at a junction where the corridor splits in two. Oh, Daniel. You just wanted to get your name on screen and Hungar's name off screen. Something I haven't done for a while. In honor of Hungar, I always used to do this. I haven't done it for a while. So there we go. Nerd.
That must have been before I came along. I don't remember you ever doing that.
Don't you ever me writing geek or nerd on my hands?
No.
I used to do it all the time.
It must have been before I came along.
Hungar, your brother's live on the internet at the moment. Are you watching both streams? Are you sort of moonlighting between the two? He's got Nerdy Ogre on with him. Appears to be discussing Friday. Right. Let's just get.
Oh, John, you're gonna have to look.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna have to go and look. Oh, Hungar, you look. We have a nerd war.
Hungar, and
we have a nerd war.
That's funny.
Watching both. Well, there you go. Multitasking.
Hungar wins anymore, and I dip into my vodka fund, and I'm not going.
Oh, can't have you do that. Can't have you doing that.
We wouldn't do that to you, Dan.
Right, let's have a look at all these people who've got Janet from Another Planet, Aman HK, 8 Mobius 8, James S. He's been on. Don't know Michael Fee. Sean Vera, don't know. Martin Arnold, don't. JC, Badgermold. No. CBK Ply. I haven't seen him for a while. He used to pop onto the stream, chat a bit. I haven't seen him for a while. But no, there's 5 names I've seen in chat there, which is good. It's a decent strike rate. Thank you, chaps. Thank you indeed.
I've been watching Janet's channel a bit lately.
Thought you might.
Yeah.
Wow. You really are a sucker for pretty girls, aren't you, Dan?
But Janet was a good laugh when she was on the drinking stream.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah, got struck in, well stuck into her spritzers. Okay, if you have the Kai discipline of tracking, turn to 342. That's what I'll do. Do you see we're playing Bears game next Saturday now, by looks of things? Not tomorrow, but next Saturday. So looking forward to that.
Yes, hope you're feeling better, Hungar. Thanks for your generosity as always, mate. And you too, Dan. I'm not forgetting you, don't worry.
We don't forget Daniel.
How could we?
Daniel's part of the furniture here now. Oh. I say that.
Just moved the thing and realised he wasn't there, yeah.
And and I just see his furniture. So right. A lot of what Janet posts, they are pictures of her, but I don't know about that one. Your Kai discipline.
To be honest, I don't even know what she really looks like because she got so many wigs.
Oh, if you watch Bruce's streams, then you'll see what she really looks like. Your Kai discipline of tracking reveals you that the right tunnel heads east and the left tunnel heads north. You are now directly beneath Cloudmaker Mountain. Consult the map of Kalte at the beginning of this book. And, let's have a look at this map. I can say that we are due south of where we want to be. We are at Cloudmaker Mountain, which is there, and we need to get to there.
Looks like we need to go north.
Yeah, well, I'm going to put it out to you lot. Do you want to go east or do you want to go north? East or north? Because it's your choice.
Go north. Good old north.
Frozen north. It's grim up north.
Bloody gold.
Chat types and Daniel's chair. North or east? Keith says north. You just know if Justin was here. He hasn't been here for a while. You know if Justin was here, he'd say east.
Okay.
Oh. Would he though?
No, he said west. He always goes left, doesn't he? North. North from Gene. Have I got
Would he say east though, John? Because west is left.
Yeah. I'm going to struggle to write with this pen on my other hand, so
I'm
I
not
have
going
to.
make you guys watch me eat.
So we have a nerd now, and we also have a geek. There we are. Thank you, Hunger. North it is.
I just realised you could fit your whole YouTube channel name on your hand if you use your thumbs.
I am not getting my YouTube channel name tattooed permanently on my hands.
I didn't say tattooed.
That's what you were going to come to next. I know you were.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't.
Yes, it
no,
was.
I wouldn't ever
Yes, it
ask you
was.
to do something ridiculous like that. Come on.
When I got my black belt in 2019, I was going to get a little tattoo of the words First Dan in Japanese, somewhere well hidden. But I never went through with that. Just as a in honor of the achievement. After a few hundred yards, you find yourself standing in a huge cavern that spreads out in all directions for as far as your eye can see. You have entered the Caverns of Kalte, and you are now looking upon an uncharted world that few Somlending have ever seen. This massive underground labyrinth was constructed by the ancients many ages ago before the Somlending or the Kaltes set foot in Magnamund. Its wide avenues, temples, plazas, and arenas once echoed to the sounds of a species of creature for whom the ice held no discomforts, the Shanti. Shanti Malar bowls still hang from the ceiling, bathing the caverns in their eternal light. You trek steadily northwards for nearly 6 hours until you arrive at the bank of a fast-flowing meltwater river. On the opposite bank, you see a tunnel leading off into the distance. You can find no apparent way of crossing the deep water, except by using the ice floes that are bobbing up and down on the surface. By jumping from one floe to the next, you could get to the opposite bank. But it will not be an easy task. You'll have to jump at least 3 of the icy slabs in order to reach the other side. Okay. Roll a d10. If you have the Kydisman of hunting, you may add 2 to the number. So I'm assuming high is going to be good here.
I was just about to say add 2. That's different.
My mouse pointer's come alive again. It had gone to sleep. There we go. Oh, there we go. If your total is now 4 or higher, turn to 176. Guess that means we don't fall in, hopefully. You run for the tunnel entrance, quickly leaving the icy river far behind. You follow the tunnel for countless hours as it wends its way northwards. It becomes impossible to recall what hour of the day it is. The perpetual half-light of these caverns never changes. Through fissures in the wall of the tunnel, you catch glimpses of other chambers, and it makes you marvel at the sheer scale of this ancient labyrinth. You're nearly asleep on your feet when suddenly you detect the aroma of cooked meat. It is coming from a chamber just a few yards ahead to your right. The delicious aroma reminds you that you are very hungry and must soon eat a meal. Do we investigate the chamber, or do we ignore the chamber? Investigate or ignore?
Investigate.
Yeah, we hungry.
Do you agree with them, chat? Do you agree with them? Jeb says investigate. Keith says investigate. Gene says investigate. There we go. That's enough. That is enough. Boom, boom, boom.
Bing, bang, boom. Good to go, Zoom.
Oh, illustration overleaf. Okay. Oh. Hey?
Oh.
He doesn't look very friendly, does he?
No.
No. Well then. You can see two men in ragged clothes huddled together beside a fire that is burning inside a metal bowl. Over the flames, the skinned carcass of a small animal is roasting on a spit. The men are old and mumble incessantly under their breath as they stare deeply into the flames. Do we approach them and ask if they will share some of their food? Do we raise our weapon and attack them? Or do we ignore them and continue on our way?
As Hungar would say, kick him in the nuts.
So you're going for the attack?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would also say attack. I'm going to assume they're not going to take too kindly to our intrusion.
Keith says attack as well. Attack. Jeb wants to ignore them.
Let's be murder hobos.
We're 3-1 for attacking at the moment.
Yeah. He's being a dumbass tonight.
Borf.
Gene's saying attack as well. Attack's winning. Attack is winning. 14. The old men stare at you in horror and fumble for their weapons. You have killed one of them before the other draws his weapon and attempts to fight back. He's desperate and attacks you with great fury, and you must fight him to the death. Okay. That was really, really honorable of us, wasn't it? No. We have a massive advantage. Massive advantage in this fight. So let's roll our number. 3. That is enemy -11, lone wolf -2.
Wow.
He's got 3 endurance left. Yeah, there's 14 endurance.
Wow.
9. Oh, 9's massive. 9's massive. Yeah, instant kill. Instant kill. If you win this combat, turn to 309. You make a quick search of the bodies and discover one of them has a triangle of blue stone hanging by a chain around its neck. Blue stone triangle. Okay.
That's interesting.
Blue stone triangle. Okay. You are hungry and quickly consume the cooked animal meat, pausing only to spit out its bones. Then you notice that the fire is burning in a strange half-spherical metal bowl. Looking around, you realize the old Kalte's warrior must have kicked the other half of the sphere into a crevasse during his desperate fight for survival. These old men were no enemy soldiers, and you have killed them to steal their belongings. Imagine how your old tutor Stormhawk would judge your actions here. Lose 2 endurance points.
That's not nice.
We've been told off here. To continue, turn to 132.
I'm pretty sure our old master would say, "Hey, lone wolf, every single other one of your kind is dead. It's fine. Do what you need to do to survive."
No. Lone wolf is lawful. He's lawful. That was not a lawful act.
It depends who you ask.
I'm thinking in D&D terms. In AD&D, all monks were lawful. But they could be lawful good, lawful neutral, or lawful evil. Lawful evil is selfish. A lawful evil monk might do this. But lone wolf isn't evil. No. Or are you making him evil? I don't know. Unless you've just eaten a meal, you lose 3 endurance points from hunger. We don't. You continue along the tunnel. Yes, the gods are displeased. Lose 3 Kai abilities. You continue along the tunnel for over a mile before becoming too tired to go any further. You stop to rest for a while and fall into a deep sleep. You awaken feeling refreshed, but have no idea just how long you've been sleeping. The strange light of these caverns never changes, be it day or night above. I'm thirsty. I keep drinking fizzy pop. It keeps making me burp. Stoically, you press on, covering mile after mile as you pass through a seemingly never-ending series of huge ice halls filled with towering pillars of crystal. In one vast chamber, you are mesmerized by the beautiful sight of its shimmering crystal ceiling. But beyond this chamber lies an even greater spectacle. A narrow passage leads onto a ledge running around the brink of a huge chasm. It's more than half a mile wide. As you edge your way around this awesome void, you try not to look down into its windswept depths. You've been on the ledge for only a few minutes when a noise behind you makes you glance back over your shoulder. To your horror, you see that you're being followed along the ledge by a monstrous, 2-headed serpent. If you have the Kai disciplines of either tracking or animal kinship, turn to 229.
Oh.
They seem to be the big uns for this one, don't they?
Yeah.
You recognize the serpent to be a Jarvek, a 2-headed and deadly poisonous ice snake. It moves very quickly, and you know that you will not be able to outrun it along this narrow ledge. If you possess a fire sphere... Right, we didn't get that because we fought the old guys. I'm assuming that was what they were burning things with.
Sounds like it.
Yeah. If you do not possess this special item, you must get ready to fight the Jarvek as it slithers closer and makes its attack. Turn to 88. This could be bad. Oh. That looks pretty brutal. Looks pretty awesome, but brutal.
It feels like if the snake hits us, it's going to like poison us or paralyze us or some shit.
Okay. As the 2-headed serpent slithers along the ledge, you can clearly see the open jaw of its second head and its curved fangs dripping with venom.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If you lose any endurance points during this combat, do not subtract them from your endurance point total. Instead, pick a number. Roll a d10. If you roll a 9, you die. Right, so we've got to fight it normally. We've got a plus 12 skill bonus against it. But if it does us any damage, we're going to roll a d10 with a 10% chance of dying instantly.
Fuck. Okay.
Oh, right. On this table, 0 is 10. It's the best thing possible. And so what we've just done is we've just instantly killed it and taken no damage.
That was nice.
Yeah, the result is the bottom left-hand corner on that table. Can you see that? K
Yeah.
and minus 0. That was very lucky. That was very, very lucky. And that little scare will teach you all for being murderous hobo types. Consider yourselves told.
I mean, I don't think we learned anything because we got out of it.
Well, that is true. That is true. You reach a tunnel on the far side of the chasm and follow it for many miles. Eventually, you arrive at an enormous chamber, the ceiling of which towers easily 500 feet above you. An icy wind blowing through the many fissures that crack the ceiling whips around this gigantic subterranean hall. Do we press on and look for an exit on the far side of this hall, or do we try and search for a way of climbing up and out through the fissures? So
is that really a smart thing to do?
I don't know, press on or try and climb up. Those are your choices.
Press on.
Press on. Press on or climb. Gene says press on. So we have 2 votes for pressing on. Keith couldn't be bothered to type the word press. On.
Keith must be worn out from all that Bloodborne.
Hello, Mr. Baker. My daughter, when she was about 2, when it's time to go outside, she'd look at you and just go, on. And that would mean put your coat on. And put her coat on.
That sounds like the fish from the one movie.
From what?
One
movie?
cartoon Disney movie. I can't remember what it is.
Oh, you mean the seagulls that go, mine?
Yeah.
Mine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have 4 votes for pressing on and none for climbing.
For real, I'm thinking if we try climbing and we slip and fall, that's it, we're dead.
Yeah, press on.
Keith, you playing Elden Ring at the moment? Is that what you're doing? Is that what you're doing?
Oh yeah, that must be taken out of you, mate. Elden Ring gives me decision fatigue.
Never played it. Never played it.
You know, I talk about like Dark Souls and stuff. It's just that
Yeah.
but open world.
Oh yeah, I know it's in
Basically.
the Dark Souls series.
It gives me decision fatigue. I can't cope with the too much choice of where to go and what to do. I prefer like a linear thing with branching paths, but this is like it's just an entire branching path.
Well, when I've been to Canada, I will be getting myself a better gaming PC, and I'll get some better games. Well, not much better games, but newer games, shinier games, and we'll see what we can play.
You're nearly finished, Keith. You might need to give me some pointers, mate. I'm like not even halfway through.
So we're pressing on because Space Canuck Man's vote for climbing was the only vote for climbing. It was up against 5 votes for pressing on. 182. You discover a low passage that opens out into a cavern full of stalagmites. There were 2 exits in the opposite ice wall. Both disappear into darkness. In the snow around the entrances to both tunnels, there are many, many strange tracks. Mr. Baker says, don't do it. The old games are better than the new shiny ones. Yeah, the thing is, if I get a decent new computer, I can still play the old games, but I can also play the shiny ones as well. And there are a few games that I've had recommended to me that my computer can't run, mainly because it's only got 2 gigabytes of video RAM. This was a cheap reconditioned gaming machine that I bought just so that it could cope with streaming games, because my previous machine really struggled with even the oldest of games. So I need a better processor and more RAM and stuff. So this PC I'm using at the moment is an i5 with 16 gig of RAM and 2 gig of video RAM. So it can run games up to about 5 or 6 years ago, fine. But the one I'm looking to get will either be a Ryzen 5 or Ryzen 7 chip or an Intel i7. I'm going to get 32 gig of RAM and either 12 or 16 gig of video RAM, depending on which card I can afford.
That's like 3 times my computer.
And I mean, it's going to cost about 1,800 quid.
Wow.
I'm hoping it'll come down to about 1,500 by then for that sort of spec.
Yeah, I paid.
We shall see.
What? I had just met my wife, so it would have been about 7 years ago. I paid right around $750 for mine.
Well, this one I've got at the moment, I paid £200 for the reconditioned unit. It only came with 4 gig of RAM, but I knew I got a friend who got some RAM he was going to sell, and I got 16 gig off him for 40 quid.
Cool.
Which is really cheap.
I
really, really cheap.
I can't remember who it is. He's one of the regulars. It was after one of the gaming sessions. He helped me out. We went through and tried to clear some stuff out.
I think it was General Nut.
Yeah, General Nut.
Yeah, yeah.
He knows his PCs.
I have to rip my stuff down and see if I have any extra slots, but mine's maxed out. I'm running at maximum, and I don't even play games. It's just, YouTube and stuff like this. So,
Mr. Baker says Intel i7 all the way. I have heard for some gaming, Ryzen's can be better, but I don't know. But okay, I'll bear that in mind.
And there's the cat.
Hello, putty tat. There's the cat's ass.
Yep.
Yes. Okay. If we have the Kai discipline of tracking, turn to 75.
It's a good thing we picked it, isn't it?
Absolutely. Didn't we only pick that one,
buddy?
Yeah, we only just picked it.
We just picked it, yeah. Just now.
After that, yeah. It was after the last book. So.
Yeah.
The tracks have been made by dangerous carnivorous creatures called Baknar. If you run into them in the confines of a dark and narrow tunnel, your chances of survival will be very slim indeed. Although your Kai discipline has enabled you to identify the tracks, you are unable to sense which tunnel the Baknar now occupy. Okay. It's a 50-50 decision. Left or right? Left or right?
Left.
I'm going to say right is right.
Well, I'm saying left because my wife says I'm never right.
So one left, one right so far. So you looks like Mr. Baker knows his gaming PCs, right? That will be borne in mind. Left, right, left. So i7. One of my mates says, just go for. Don't worry too much about the clock speed. Just go for as many cores as you can. And look at the speed of the RAM, and he also said it's better. I can't afford a GeForce 4080. I can just about afford a GeForce 4060 with 16 gig of RAM or a 4070 with 12 gig of RAM. And he reckons going for the 4070 because the newer chip on that will be more efficient, more effective. So it'll counteract the fact that it's got 4 gig less. A 4070 Ti or 4070 Super, I think it was. So, Mr. Baker, is the GeForce 4070 Super with 12 gig of RAM a good option for gaming? Given I want to run RPGs and racing sims.
He says you can hit him up on Discord.
Oh, fine. Okay, yeah. Well, I've just asked him a direct question. I want to answer now.
No, you said that. You said that before you said all that.
Yeah. So I'm going to buy myself a decent wheel as well because I want to play the latest Dirt Rally game that came out earlier in the year, and I also want to have a go at the real sim racing nerdy ones, games like iRacing and Assetto Corsa and things like that. I want to give some of those a try because I do like car racing.
Oh, do you know what? One of my brother's friends waxes lyrical about Assetto Corsa.
Looked really nice, but I've heard iRacing is a better sim. I don't know. I know iRacing is expensive because it's a subscription model.
Oh wow.
So we are currently on 3 left, 2 right. Anybody else like to vote? Left tunnel or right tunnel? 3 have gone for the left, 2 have gone for the right.
Keith, have you beaten Millennia?
Oh dear. My stressful week is catching up with me. The father-in-law is still going, still clinging on.
Bless him.
Okay. Better to plan the parts a bit closer to time. I mean, looking at the prices at the moment, there's no way I'm going to be able to afford a 4080. So, but we'll see. Ideally, I wouldn't like to spend anything more than 1,500 quid, and the setup I've been looking at is currently 1,750 to 1,800. 1,750 if I keep my current keyboard, 1,800 if I go for a nice new shiny keyboard and mouse combo, which I quite fancy. I could do.
Yeah, because you're only going to purchase that like once every 10 years, if that, you know.
Yeah.
When you say not yet, Keith, do you mean you haven't gotten to her yet or you haven't beaten her yet? Because I've heard from quite a few people that she's the hardest boss in any of these games ever.
Right, so Space Canuck Man has gone for left. That's 4 left, so we are going left.
Left it is. All right. Justin will be happy.
After a short walk, you arrive at a grand ice hall that is full of crystal stalagmites and stalactites. The floor is covered with animal tracks and bones, yet the vast hall seems empty of life. The northern wall is a completely smooth surface of granite blocks stretching upwards to the icy ceiling, over 100 feet above. You are looking at the wall when slowly you realize that these are the foundation stones of Ikaya. Finally, you have arrived at the ice fortress. Partially obscured by a large mound of crystals, you can just make out a ramp leading up to a massive stone door in the fortress's subterranean wall. Your discovery brings with it a renewed hope. If you're able to gain entry to Ikaya this way and quickly capture Vonatar, there is still enough time remaining for you to reach your ship, the Cardinal, before the ice pack begins to freeze. Do we cross the icy hall and examine the great stone door, or do we stop and make a search of the bone-littered floor? So cross or search?
Search.
No, just go to the door.
That's the image of where we are. Well, you have been mightily outvoted, Iman.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yes, you've been obliterated.
Annihilation.
Better luck tomorrow morning. How's that?
Oh,
Ah,
Space
Space
Canuck
Canuck
agreed with
Man's
you.
on my side. Yeah.
Yeah. You've got a friend.
I think there's going to be some bullshit hidden underneath them. That's what I think.
Okay, well, we're searching. 6 voted for search, 2 voted for cross.
All right. Good luck when you get to a Keith. You'll need it, mate.
Yeah, as we get poisoned or something. Oh, church.
I'm guessing, Mr. Baker, that spec is pretty mighty. An i7, 64 gig of RAM, and an RTX 4080. I can't afford one of those. They're brutally expensive.
If it was brand new last year when he bought it, it'll still be pretty good now then.
Yeah. Oh, they were 4 figures when they first came out, I believe, for the video card. Yeah. The video card I'm looking at adds about 480 to 500 quid to the build cost. They're not cheap, video cards nowadays. You discover that many of the bones scattered amongst the stalagmites are of human origin. Shattered skulls, skeletal hands, and rib cages lie half buried in the ice. You're about to abandon your search when your eye is caught by a small box. It is made of finely carved bone. Do we pick up and open this small box, or do we leave it where it is? Box or no box?
Box.
Yeah, I can imagine that, Mr. Baker. I can imagine that. Box or no box?
Box.
Box.
No box.
No box.
Is there an option to sniff the box?
You might not want to.
Sorry.
Iman, your challenge is to tomorrow, when the pub's open, walk into the pub, go up to the barmaid and say, "Can I sniff the box, please?"
That would be a challenge. I'd have to leave the house.
You're either gonna go home happy or with a black eye. Take your pick.
Yes.
Why not both?
I can believe that, Mr. Baker. I can believe that. But I bet your machine flies with it in. So,
Oh, I tend to see Mr. Baker on Discord playing some cool game or other. He's got good taste.
Did you guys, any of you ever play, of course, Temple of Elemental Evil?
I tried it. I bought it on when it came out. It was reduced price, budget price, and I tried it. Realized it was 3rd edition D&D.
Yeah, and it was very glitchy.
And it was glitchy, and I then gave up on it, put it away somewhere, and I've got no idea where I've put it.
I still have it. I still have it up. Or like, if I exit out of the main screen, I can click on it and bring it up. But I haven't played it since I started playing another game on my tablet and phone. I enjoyed it, but once you got to the elemental nodes, it kept crashing on you, which really sucked because I actually liked the game. But
I've heard once it's all patched up, it's meant to be quite good. But I'm really not a fan of 3rd edition mechanics.
Yeah.
And I'd already played through Neverwinter Nights, and
I have that also. Yeah.
and that's 3rd edition as well. And I'd had my fill of 3rd edition mechanics, even in the computer game form by that point.
Well,
so
what I liked about Temple was you could craft your own magic items. depending
All
on
right.
the alignment. And I thought that was really neat. And I spent most of the time when I would rerun it, I would pick out different, I don't know, disciplines, whatever you want to call them, to see what I could make up. And that was pretty cool. And I could never get the patches to download, which was really annoying. And there was one group called Circle of Eight that did a mod for it, and it was for
Halakar just mentioned that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he's just mentioning.
They did Keep on the Borderlands, but I couldn't get that to download either. But then again, I can barely log on Saturday mornings, so it's no surprise there.
I mean, I played Neverwinter Nights, the main campaign through, and found it very, very. The main campaign I thought was poor, but Gene, I did the same. I played all the homemade versions of the classic modules, and I thoroughly enjoyed them. But I was pretty much fed up with third edition mechanics by the time I'd done all of that. Because I'm going to start an edition war in chat. I don't like third edition. I think it's probably the worst version of D&D. So there.
What do you think about 3.5? I think that was just for money.
I think it's basically the same engine, isn't it?
Yeah, so, and they were just trying for money.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's when the group I was DMing at the time, when they came out with 3.5, they said, we're done. We're not doing this anymore. And I can't blame them. So,
I mean, that, bear in mind, I don't generally consider 4th edition to be D&D because it's more of a board game.
I never played it, so I wouldn't know. I have no opinion on that.
I didn't like that either.
And I've never played 5th either.
I mean, I'll say now, I don't mind 5th up to about level 5, but you get to level 5 far too quickly, and after that, it just becomes silly and it grinds to a halt because people get too many options.
Okay.
Combat starts to take ages.
I've gathered that, yes.
Levels 1 to 4, it's fine. It's okay. And it can be tweaked to fit old school sensibilities. It's easily done, but it just gets a bit out of hand too quickly.
Okay, yep.
So another Mr. Baker says he likes Assetto Corsa. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to have a look at at those. I mean, I will say now, I very much like Advanced OSE. I think it hits a perfect blend of basic and AD&D. It blends the best bits of both.
So far, I like it. I just wish I could find a hardback book to buy.
I think there is, yeah. I mean, they do one. They do. They have done.
They do, but anytime I try to order one, I can't. I don't know. Call me stupid, but I can't get it. I go to, what is it? There's the one site that I went to and downloaded everything. They have like a magazine. I downloaded 3 issues of it.
Oh yeah, Gene mentioned it here. It's usually out of stock at Exalted.
Yeah.
Yeah. So okay.
And I want a physical book in my hand. I don't want to have to look it up on my computer.
It just
makes it easier.
Of course, I got my books.
I do like OSC.
I got my books from Gene. I mean, for me, first edition AD&D has a very close place to my heart, and it's as much for the modules and the sheer weight of information in the Dungeon Master's Guide than it is for the system. Because when I ran it, I streamlined it, and effectively I ran it pretty much how I run OSE now, with simplified initiative and surprise. So that's why I say OSE advanced. The OSE with the advanced options just really does hit the spot for me. It's that perfect blend. It's very, very good. It is basically BX with some bits of AD&D in it. It's that's which is perfect.
Oh yeah. Surprise. So the character my son's gonna run tomorrow, imagine this, it's a dwarven cleric. I'm like, really,
okay,
dude?
Yeah. I mean, yes, it is very badly explained. In fact, it's so badly explained that people still argue the finer points of it on forums to this day. The best video ever made on AD&D Initiative was what Mage's Musings made, because it was funny as well. So check
Did you
out
do it
Mage's
with the
Musings.
puppets?
I can't remember whether he did it with the puppets or not. I think you must have. He did it as it's really, really simple. Apart from with this exception and this exception and this exception and this exception and this exception.
I'm gonna have
So,
to look that up.
Yeah, it is good. It is good. Right. Okay. We're opening the box. We got diverted a bit then.
Yeah. Everybody say hi to Churcher.
Hello, Putta.
Hello.
He's an asshole.
No, he's not.
But he's my
He likes showing us his.
Yep.
All cats do.
Especially if you're on camera.
He's gonna do it again.
Mercurius, Orlicus. Thank you, Mercurius. Our Antipodean ally. Justin will has got a membership. Maybe that'll remind him that we exist on a Friday. Cheers, Mercurius.
And this is not vodka, by the way.
It's not vodka.
No. It's magical potato water.
I thought you were going to say it's methylated spirits then.
Yeah, there's other types of vodka.
The box contains a beautiful diamond. Its many facets gleam and sparkle, even in the dim half-light of the ice hall. In Sommerland, a jewel of this size and quality will be worth thousands of gold crowns. Okay. We now have a diamond.
My precious.
Oh, nice.
My precious. Yes. Yes, they're precious. You can now examine the fortress door by turning to 52. As you climb the slippery stone ramp, the sound of cracking ice makes you spin around. The large mound of crystals at the base of the ramp is starting to move. These crystals are alive. You stare with growing disbelief as the mound is transformed into a writhing mass of crystal coils. Slowly the coils unwind, and a terrible ice creature slithers towards you. Do we wish to evade this creature and run towards a stone door, or do we stand our ground and fight? In fact, I think Mercurius gets a nerd. There we go, a nerd or a geek. No, I'm not going to explain.
Cheers, Mercurius. Legend.
It just means Hungar's been here earlier. And that's not going to wash off. So I'm going to work tomorrow with that all over my hand in the shop.
I'm saying
just do a Michael Jackson and wear one glove.
Jeb is a chicken. Everybody else is saying fight so far. What did you say?
Oh, sorry, I forgot to say fight. Yeah.
Halakar, that's not an option.
Can be on and see if it melts. Don't eat the yellow snow.
Oh, Keith, sorry, I missed your earlier comment. Yeah, definitely let me know how many tries it takes.
Oh dear. Right. So, stand our ground and fight it. Only Jeb wanted to run away. Jeb.
Yellow bone.
Yeah, where do you think the bones came? Well, yes. This is probably where the bones have come from.
Yeah, but did any of them have the summer sword? Don't think so.
No,
Or
we have
the
got yeah, stupid
and we
skill.
got that diamond. You never know what that might do.
Mm. This strange creature is a crystal frostworm, a scavenging beast now living on the remains of the unfortunate creatures that have entered the cavern. Its hard skin is almost transparent, and its internal organs can be seen pulsating inside. A large mouth opens in the crystalline head to reveal row upon row of jagged crystal teeth. Your back is pressed to the stone door, and there's no way to evade this approaching monster. You must fight this creature to the death. It's immune to Mind Blast. We didn't take the Mind Blast anyway. And there is a picture. We have Aardvark.
Oh.
That's not as good a piece of artwork as some of the others we've seen.
I was going to say, the description sounds a lot more terrifying than the illustration makes it look.
It looks, keep your pulse. Have you noticed Halakar, when he's got his face on camera, he's well behaved.
Yes.
You take his face off camera and put him behind a keyboard, and he becomes a naughty boy.
He's a keyboard.
Hey, that was that.
He's a keyboard warrior.
No, sometimes he's on camera acting nice and in chat being a nuisance at the same time.
Yes. That's true. Is a keyboard warrior one of those kits from 2nd edition?
Might be. That would have been in the Thief's Handbook.
We've got to fight this thing.
Well, I've got to fight it, but we've got a big advantage over it. We've got a +7 advantage, but it has got a very, very high stamina of 30.
We got
so 2 hits instead of 1. Right, no worries.
We got this.
A roll of 8. Enemy -16, lone wolf -none.
Okay, I might not have fucking realized how true that was. Holy shit.
Oh, you're all worn out and silly. Okay, that's that's the excuse, right? Okay. Oh, that's going to hurt us. That's just lost us 2 points. It's down to 7 points, but we are down to 18. We weren't quite back up. 9. Oh, 9 is -18. Yeah,
18. Okay, now.
Yeah, -18. We've killed it. That wasn't too difficult.
Well, I weren't far off when I said 2 hits.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry about the yawning. Yeah, I'm a bit worn out as well. I've got a short weekend.
Don't worry about it.
This weekend, I'm only working in the shop on Saturday afternoon. I've got Sunday daytime off, but I'm still doing my quiz in the evening. But it just means I can write it at a leisurely pace in the afternoon and not panic. I might even have it finished in time for yours or Elfbait's stream. I don't know. We'll see.
Oh, that'd be delightful.
I'm still going to go out at 8:30. Which is when I go out.
That's fine. No, I'll be streaming at 6 or 6:30. How's your new hire, by the way?
We'll find out on Sunday. She did pretty well last Sunday, so she's in by herself this Sunday, but with my phone number. So
Okay.
we'll see how it goes. You watch with fascination and revulsion as each segment of the creature shatters and then slowly dissolves away into the ice. Soon, all that remains of the crystal frostworm are the undigested contents of its stomach. To your surprise, in the center of this mass of fetid flesh and bone, you can see the shank of an ornate silver key. Do we take the key or do we ignore it?
Take it.
Take it. Yeah, take it.
I think this is a silly question to ask. Is anybody in chat going to say ignore it? Somebody's bound to now, just to troll us. But so 4 votes now.
If anyone's
take,
a troll
5,
in
6.
chat, it's Halakar right now.
No, he's been good. He's been good there. A key. We found a key, Mercurius.
I don't mean it in a bad way.
Silver
It's
key.
just who he is. To be fair, I'm the same.
Sorry, Mercurius can't understand me when I'm like this. I need to. Do I need to? You know what I'm going to have to do for Mercurius? Attach my chair to the ceiling and dangle upside down.
Mercurius, we're in an ice cave. We found my first 2 wives' hearts. Do we take them or not?
Yeah, we found an ornate silver key. So, oh, there we go. Oh, yeah, he's trolling us. He's ignoring it. Ignore what? What key? Yeah, okay. You're 2 steps ahead of us. We're stupid. You're the intelligent one. We're stupid. We didn't get that quickly enough. All 3 of us here. None of us got it.
I was too busy thinking, should I turn my camera on and flip my phone upside down so I can see how Mercurius is?
Right. He's never heard that one before. But he's Australian, so he can take a bit of banter. Are you a cricket fan, Mercurius? Do you watch the Ashes in the same way that I watch the Ashes and cheer for your team and enjoy the sledging and the competition?
Aren't Australia the best team in the world at cricket?
Most of the time. It tends to be either them or India. Occasionally South Africa flirt with it. Oh, you watch
Pakistan used to be pretty good.
Pakistan are too inconsistent. They're on their day, Pakistan can beat anybody, but they have some very, very hot and cold players. And their best players have a habit of self-destructing in some way.
There was a phase in my childhood where everyone in my school was obsessed with Shahid Afridi.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I like the Barmy Army's banter. Yeah, it's great. But no, it was things. There was they had this great young bowler coming through about 10 years ago, and then he got suckered in by a bookmaking scam and was bowling intentional no balls, and he got banned and missed the best part of his career. And I don't think he's been quite as good ever since he came back.
Oh dear.
That seems to be what happens.
we actually have that
some...
happening over here with baseball.
Yeah.
The guy's amazing. He's the best pitcher, and he's always in the top for home runs, which pitchers are never good hitters. It doesn't happen. The guy's amazing, but he's from Japan, and he needs an interpreter. His interpreter has stolen, I think it's $32 million from him on gambling. So he might lose his career. He could be the best baseball player ever, and he might lose his career because his interpreter had access to his bank account.
That's a shocker. That's a shocker. This young Pakistani bowler, basically, all he was doing, he was betting. He was asked to bowl a no ball at a certain point in the game, and when he did, he didn't just overstep by a few inches. It was just like, oh, I've overstepped by about 3 feet.
Yeah.
Like, it looked so blatant.
Yes.
And then about 2 days after the baseball thing came out, a guy in basketball. I can't remember his name right now. He got smoked betting on his games on how many points he would score. So he would score enough so that his team would win, but then he would back off and not score anymore. So he would get underneath the bet. Like if the bet was he scores 24 points, he would get enough for the team to win, but he would only score 22.
Yeah, yeah.
And he got smoked on that.
But you're going to, aren't you? The scrutiny's going to be on you. Why do it? You get paid enough in these sports. Anyway, the ornate silver key is coated with a corrosive digestive acid that burns through your mittens and attacks your fingers. Lose an endurance.
Oh, that sucks.
You drop the key and plunge your hand into the snow to ease the pain. But we get
wait, hang on, mittens.
We wear comfy mittens, but it does say we can keep the key, ornate key. You can wipe it in the snow before placing it in your pocket. And now search for a way of opening the fortress door 344.
But we lost our mittens. So now we're going to get frostbite.
It's just a really funny mental image. This badass lone wolf with just mittens.
The fortress door is completely smooth. It has no visible lock, nor hinge, nor keyhole. Upon turning your attention to the granite wall, you notice that one of the massive blocks is different to all the others. A small triangle has been cut into its surface. If you possess a blue stone triangle, turn to 41. Time to head home, Halakar. Good luck. I think we should be okay. Should be okay.
Where did we get that blue stone triangle from? Was it from the two dudes that we killed?
Yes. Maybe it was the right thing to do. I don't know. You remove the blue stone triangle from around your neck and press it into the granite wall. It's a perfect fit. Immediately feel a tremor running through the ledge on which you're standing, followed by a grinding noise of stone on stone. The door opens, but after it's opened less than 3 feet, it begins to close again. Without a moment's hesitation, you dive into the fortress. Seconds later, the door crashes shut behind your back. You may keep the blue stone triangle. You do not need to erase it from your action chart. Okay. To continue, turn to 221.
Yeah, this book is a lot better than book 2.
It is, yes. But no, back to cricket. Pakistan have always got a team with a lot of talent, but not always the right mentality.
Poor coaching.
Yeah, maybe.
Mate, I'm not going to lie to you, but that pretty much describes Pakistanis in a nutshell.
Yeah, but Shahid Afridi was box office. He could bowl, bat, and he would always be getting up to stupid stuff as well. He was always getting himself in trouble. He had a gob on him, and he'd wind people up. Yeah. But that makes him entertaining to watch.
Yeah, which brings more eyeballs to the sport, which is a good thing.
Yeah. The corridor in which you now stand is far warmer than the icy cavern outside. For the first time in many days, you can lower the hood of your cloak and remove your mittens without risking frostbite. You notice that the stone passage ascends to a landing where another passage branches off to the east. Shantimala bowls hang at regular intervals along the arched ceiling. There are natural light illuminating the intricately carved walls. As you approach the landing, you notice an archway leading into a small room beyond. A strange sight meets your eyes. Ragged furs, pottery shards, and debris of hundreds of years seems to have been thrown into this chamber. A large lever protrudes from the wall beside the archway. Okay. Enter the room and investigate the contents. Pull the lever or explore eastwards along the passageway. Those are our options.
What the
Investigate,
hell? Pull
lever, or
the
east.
lever.
Investigate, lever, or east.
No, I don't want to pull the lever. I'll say investigate.
Okay. Gene agrees with you. It's going to be so nice not having to get up in the morning. I'm going to be in work till 1 tomorrow. I will be turning my alarm off and sleeping. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
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 The warmth.
What is that sleep that you speak of? Please tell me.
It's been in short supply this week. Mr. Baker goes for investigate. So yeah, I've been getting to sleep around 2 and waking up about 7 most nights. So
I know
5
it
hours a
sounds
night.
like an insult, but I only seem to sleep whenever I'm on the computer with you guys.
Because we
It's
calm
not
you
true.
down. We calm you. Our dulcet tones calm you down. That's what it is. You're
To be honest,
content.
I think it's sweet because it shows that you're comfortable with us.
It
There
does.
is that.
Yeah, it means you're calm and content, and you just relax away from the stresses of the real world. Right, we have 10 people in chat and only 4 votes so far. Investigate, pull lever, or explore eastwards. Investigate, lever, or east. Come on, chat. Come on.
So we've got 3 investigate, 1 lever.
We have, yeah.
Dan, how do you say it?
What's that?
Lever or lever?
Lever.
Lever.
But then again, we
Lever.
say yuns, so you know.
You
Lever?
say
You're not
vase.
even with her?
You say vase instead of vase as well, don't you?
Yes.
Yes.
Vase.
Have you corrected the way you say twat yet?
Twat?
Twat.
What?
Apparently not.
twat.
Apparently not.
Practice that. You know how you say cat? Just say cat, but with a TW at the start of it.
Twacat.
Twacat. Twacat. But then remove the C. Twat. 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 Such a good
What
word.
have we got? Oh, Keith says investigate. Space Canuck Man says pull. So that's 4-2.
4-2.
Investigate.
4-2 for investigate at the moment. Still potentially 4 more votes to come, though. So, am I going to commit? Am I going to commit? I'm going to have to, aren't I? Because I mean, chat are just being well. There's some consistent responses here. There's a few noticeable names who've not. I know Halakar's gone, hasn't he? So, yeah. Wake up, Jeb. Vote, Jeb. Jeb, vote. Mercurius, vote. Mercurius hasn't voted. Jeb hasn't voted. Who else is there? Scrolling up. I've scrolled a long way up. And
All right, I got a vote coming in.
Oh God, why me?
You want to investigate or not?
Always investigate.
Okay, there's a vote for
Is that
investigate.
Kelsey?
That's why I'm the white girl that dies first in a horror movie. Like, duh.
No. Obviously, after the black guy dies.
Coco Beer said investigate. Jeb's at work and was on the phone. Oh, that's okay. That's okay. Yeah, it's okay.
What did you miss? Just a lot of talk about cricket and D&D.
And yeah. Anyway, investigators now. The balance has been tipped towards investigate. Hello, Coco. We need to greet you. So we are investigating the room. After 10 minutes of spent searching the room, you discover an old fur backpack and a long coil of rope. You may take this backpack only if you don't have one. Well, yeah, we lost our backpack, didn't we? So
We did, yeah.
we did.
Kind of
yes.
dumb of us, really, on hindsight.
Yeah, we lost the lawn spur that we had in there and the fur blanket we had in there. So we've got a backpack and we've got a coil of rope. Marvelous. Oh, you heard the cricket chat. Okay. That's probably why you decided to do your work instead. Okay. The rope takes up 2 backpack items because it uses up a lot of space. And we've ignored the lever completely. There's no option to now pull it, so we continue. Okay. You soon reach the bottom of a flight of broad stone steps that ascends northwards to a landing 30 feet above. The center of each step has been worn smooth by the feet of countless creatures that once inhabited the lower levels of icy, cold Ikaya. As you climb, you wonder how long you can remain undetected. So far, you've neither seen nor heard of any living soul in these deserted passages. You have the element of surprise on your side, and you now can only pray that Vonatar is unprepared for an intruder from the depths of his own fortress. Some SOB called you. Yeah, they do that, don't they, at work? It's annoying. You reach the landing and pass through an empty hall towards a darkened archway beyond. Here, the passageway splits and branches off towards the east and west. You're hungry and must now eat a meal or lose 3 endurance points. We haven't got any meals. We'd gone back up to 19 endurance. We're now down to 16. I was locking up my shop yesterday at 5:29, about to drop the shutters because the shop closed at 5:30. Somebody phoned up and says, you were delivering during the pandemic. Yes. Do you still deliver? I can possibly deliver on my way home. Can you deliver me a coil? 1 coil. Yeah, that's all I need. Where do you live? 4 miles in the opposite direction. For £2.50. Now, if I'd have known the person, if they'd have lived close to my house, I'd have done that. But I said, no, I'm going to have to apply that £15 limit. Unless you spend £15, we're not going to be delivering. And yeah.
Well,
so I didn't.
I agree with you on that. Like you said, if you would have known the person or they were going to spend more, then yeah, I would.
Yeah.
I was in retail for 18, 20 years. But yeah, if they're just some dumbass that's going to only spend like, what'd you say, $2.50?
Yeah, and he wanted to pay by bank transfer for that £2.50.
Yeah, no.
And he rang 1 minute before closing time.
Yeah,
and he rang 1 minute before closing time. Yes, yeah. As I was literally tidying the shop up.
Come back tomorrow, loser. No, just no.
Yeah.
I agree with you on that, John. Not that it probably means very much, but I do agree with you on it.
Yeah, me too. I'm with you on that, mate. I'd do the same.
Anyway, the passageway splits and branches off towards the east and the west. So, do we go east or do we go west?
Oh, okay. It's just straight 50-50. All right.
Head west, young man.
I'm going to say east.
I haven't done it. There was only during the pandemic, we stayed afloat by delivering to our regular customers. Typically, only 5 or 6 deliveries a day, but it brought a little bit of money coming in and kept us in touch with the customers. It also got us a few new ones who found out that we were delivering, and there was one lady, and she was housebound, and she kept on phoning for deliveries afterwards, even though when we were fully open, because we knew she couldn't make it into the shop. We never minded delivering to her. Never minded. Didn't matter when she rang, how much she wanted, or whatever. She was lovely about it. She'd phone up and say, "All right, love. Is that John? Yeah, is that Sylvia? Yeah, Sylvia. You all right, Sylvia? Yeah, I'm all right. Can I have my usual? Oh, yeah, go on. I'll pay cash at the door. Yeah, fine, no problem. Oh, no rush. I can wait till tomorrow if you're in a rush or anything." And it
Oh,
didn't matter.
bless her. She sounds really sweet.
It never mattered. It never mattered when
Yep.
she, as long as she got it within 24, 36 hours from ordering, she was happy. And we'd always deliver. If one of us could drop in on the way home, we would, or first thing the next morning, we'd drop it to her. And she was always happy. And she'd always tip us £1 as well. She'd always tip us £1. But sadly, she wasn't. She was housebound. She wasn't well, and she passed away last year. So,
Well, if the person sounds like her is a nice person,
yeah,
they're polite, they're courteous.
Yes,
they go out of their way to be a good customer. I will bend over backwards to help them out. I would stay open late, open up early, do whatever. But if you're an asshole, fuck you. I'm not doing anything.
No,
you're screwed.
Yeah, she was always very, very grateful, very friendly, and she'd always at the door she'd insist on pressing this extra £1 into your hand and say, "That's for you, thank you. Don't tell the boss."
Heck, I actually got a better paying job. I was working at Kmart. I don't know, you guys from the UK, if you know what Kmart is or was.
I only know Kmart from the fact it used to sponsor a team in the Indy cars, I believe.
Yeah, well, they used to be the big superstore. And I was working for them. I was really nice to a customer, helped them out and everything else. It was him and his wife. And I forget what they bought, but it was really it was in the lawn and garden section. So it must have been like bags of potting soil or mulch or something like that. So I take it out and I load it up for him in their car. He tries to tip me. I said, "No, I can't take a tip. If I do, I get fired." He goes, "How about this? Do you want a job?" I'm like, "It depends." Here he's the personnel manager for a major company 20 miles north of us. And I got a $4 an hour raise by just taking this guy's stuff out to his car and being nice.
Very nice. Well, yeah. That's
and when you're 18, back in 1998, that was a hell of a raise.
Yeah.
Now,
so anyway, we've got a decision to make: east or west?
West.
Yeah.
Mr.
Baker said west. You say east? Yeah. When I was 18, I earned £2.50 an hour working pulling pints.
My first ever job, I was 17, so that was 12 years ago, and I got paid £3.50 an hour cash in hand, which I'm pretty sure was illegal.
Oh yeah, completely. My £2.50 an hour when I was 18 was completely legal. There was no minimum wage then, and I was under the tax threshold, so it was cash. But I started off working 3 hours a week on a Friday night at a pub because it was really busy. Because I was still at school, so it was the only time I really had. The only time I could really spare. But as soon as I left school, finished my exams, and I was doing 20 to 30 hours there a week. And it okay, it wasn't a lot of money, but it made a difference.
Oh yeah, of course.
I lied about
know-
my age just to get a paper route. You had to be 11, and I was only 9. I was like, no, I'm 11. And then
my kids have both had paper rounds both my kids have had paper rounds since they were 13.
Yeah. My first job, I was a dishwasher, and the waitresses liked me, and they would screw up the drinks on purpose just so they could bring me back alcoholic beverages. So that was pretty cool. And they were all cute. So
I did a paper round for a few months when I was about 14 or 15, but it paid really badly, really, really badly. And it was quite away from my house. And there were big free newspapers. So it was a lot. It was a fraction of what my son gets paid for his now.
yeah,
And
you didn't get any tips or anything, probably.
No tips, because no one wanted the papers. They were free papers. And they were twice the size. They always had crap tucked in. I'd put magazines in them.
Yeah.
And they were really, really heavy. And it was a long, long round. It was about 80 houses. My son delivers about 20 houses each morning, 20, 25 houses each morning, gets paid much more.
Nothing.
But it was, I'd have to, the papers would be dropped off at my house. I'd have to put magazines in all of them.
Yeah, you've got to do two.
Yep. They were so big, I had to do it in 2 runs. And it was a mile to the start of the round. Then the round itself was about 3/4 of a mile. And then it was about a mile home. I then had to pack my bag again and go out and do the second half.
Oh, that sucks.
So it used to take me about 2. It used to take me about 2 hours to earn about £1.50. It was rubbish.
Mine was like 110 houses, somewhere around there. And once I got my driver's license and my motorcycle, I would strap my bag. We had a big canvas bag with a shoulder strap. I'd strap it on to the handlebars of my motorcycle, and I'd just drive through everybody's yard.
I mean, I was on my push bike pedaling away.
Yeah,
and it was hard work.
Oh, it is. That's why anybody that I ever interviewed when I was in retail, if they said that they had a paper route, they instantly got a job.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'll hire you. I don't care.
Yeah,
because you had a paper route, it was a pain in the ass.
Early in the morning, it can be heavy, whatever the weather.
Cold, wet, snow, 0 degrees. My parents never woke me up. My parents never drove me around. It was all on me. So, yeah. If I had some young kid come in and say, yeah, I had a paper out, okay, you're hired. We're done with the interview. Yep.
Right. This is going to be the last one, by the way, tonight. I'm going to read this one through. We'll make the decision, and I'll make a note of where we're going to go. That's going to be the last one.
Yeah,
we're going for over 2 hours. Right. You have been walking along the passage for only 5 minutes. We went west. You've been walking along the passage for only 5 minutes when it veers sharply northwards. Just ahead to your left, you can see a large stone door. The lever in the wall beside it is in the upright position, and the door is closed. Do we pull the lever and open the door, or ignore the door and continue north?
You know,
lever
me.
Or ignore?
I'm pulling.
You're pulling.
Like the last monkey going on Noah's Ark.
I mean, Jeb's first job was a farm labourer. I mean, that's gonna be hard work.
Yep. My grandmother, she had 350 pigs. Yeah, that's not easy work.
How many of her victims did you feed to the pigs? You don't have to say. Wait until after the stream to give me the
pigs are the perfect garbage disposal. Believe me.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
If you got to get rid of it, you give it to the pigs.
Yeah, they're just a bin.
That's all I'm saying.
They're like pigeons. Pigeons will eat anything as well.
The only thing you'll get out of the pig is maybe you'll find a molar. Other than that, you're not finding anything.
All right, so Iman, lever or ignore?
Ignore.
Oh, come
Ignore.
on. Lever. Lever.
Lever. We're training you. We're training you.
You said it right for a second there.
Hello, Victor. It's always sad when people.
Hello.
I mean, I've announced that this is going to be the last one and the stream's about to end. Victor comes in all jolly and says hello. We're up to 13 people in the chat, which is the highest all night. And I've got 3 minutes of stream left. Oh. Because pumpkin hour, 2 minutes. Now, pumpkin hour is 12 o'clock, midnight. So, lever or ignore. Anyone else want to vote?
I know Victor will be looking forward to our Palladium game next weekend, John.
He watches that, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Mercurius says ignore. Yes, if you like our Palladium game that we have on a Saturday, which Bear runs, it's been scheduled for next Saturday. So not this Saturday, but next Saturday. That was the one that we should have had last week, but Hungar was in hospital, and we thought that my father-in-law was going to pass away on Saturday because of how ill he was on the Friday. He has pulled through is the wrong way to describe it. He's very poorly but stable at the moment. So it can happen anytime. He's not responsive now. He's just got an oxygen mask on that's keeping his heart beating, basically, because he can't breathe without it, and he doesn't speak to anybody. He isn't aware of anybody or anything now, which is a shame. But he's been like that. He's been like that for a week. So we're on 5-3 for 5-3 at the moment for lever. 5-2, sorry, because Gene says pull and then leave. I mean, so.
Is he talking about the clubs?
So 5-2. Okay, so we are pulling the lever. I'm going to write down the number 317, and that is where we will start next week. 317. I've put it on my thing, and I've circled it. I shall close the book here. I'm quite enjoying this one. I think this is better than book 2. Book 1 was really good. It's not quite the level of book 1 yet, but I think this has been pretty good so far. Feels like we're making progress. What I like about these is they don't feel unfair. The only problem with book 2 is the start of it felt a bit very random and almost a little unfair. But
I would agree with that.
Well. Yeah. So, but yeah, we're definitely pulling the lever. But so book 2 got better as it went on. It finished really well, but it just meandered a bit, and it was a bit crap at the start. But this one's been decent so far, which is good.
I feel like we've made pretty much all the right choices, though.
What I like is I don't think we've been railroaded. I think there's choices which are good and bad, and multiple ways of getting through. Like killing those men, we were punished, but then we were rewarded later on.
Yeah,
I'm wondering if we'd have got something different, had we approached it differently and been rewarded, but then punished a bit later on.
But then it also feels like there could be two distinct paths through the book, because right at the beginning we made the choice.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and we had that. Also, we lost our expedition team, didn't we? But we've still managed to progress onwards. And I think
Yeah.
there could have been a way of getting to where we are now, but having stayed with the expedition team. Yeah, Jeb, in spite of ourselves, we're fumbling towards the ending. But that's good. That's good in a way.
But isn't that
Right.
just life?
Yes, it is. It describes us well. Right, I'm going to draw this stream to a close. Thank you, Iman. Thank you, Daniel, for
You're
being here. And
welcome.
thank you,
Thank you.
Church the Cat, as well.
Yeah, he's still here.
I can see on the. There we go. We can see the cat.
And
There
a
we
little
go.
cameo from Kelsey.
Yep.
Little cameo from Kelsey as well. Yes. Ilan, of course, is Intellectual Quandary, has his channel. I've just shielded it for you. He's playing Bloodborne and will be streaming on Sunday. Thank you, everybody in chat. As I always say, if you have a channel, you have a chance to shill it. I like it when you shill your channels, share them round. Gene plays funky old tunes on his channel. So if you like your Northern Soul, he's got some old singles that he spins and plays on there. Has anybody else with it? Hungar popped in earlier. Hungar's got a channel. Anybody else with channels been in tonight?
Richard the Dungeon Crawler has a channel.
Richard the Dungeon Crawler, yes. Richard the Dungeon Crawler as well. So
Don't know where he disappeared to, though.
no, he went quiet. He quiet and disappeared. But anyway, thank you all for joining in tonight.
Thank you.
Sad that it's sad that we get our highest chat totals when it's time for me to go. But such is life with time zones and all of that. No channel playing in Bears. Oh, you're playing in Bears Heroic Game in an hour. Right. Okay. So there you go.
Oh, cool. I might have to check a bit of that out.
Yeah. Well, I've backed the Kickstarter. I had some news today. I can expect my copy of Dark Tower anytime now. I have a tracking number. It is with DPD. But if you know what DPD are like, it could be tomorrow. It could be next Tuesday. It could be never. So there we go. But it should be with me soon. But we've got that to look forward to. Okay. You got yours today, David. Right. It was me feeling good. Bah. Is it good though? I'm looking forward to it. So.
Oh no, you're not going to like that one.
What's that? Oh, I know. Jeb's in the States, so isn't he?
Is he?
They finished their fulfillment over there. We had to wait for it to cross the Atlantic over here.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, you have to wait for the boat.
Yes. But David's got it today, all shiny and nice. Not jealous. Right. Anyway, I'm going to shoot off. So thank you all for joining us, and I'll see you when I stream next, whenever that may be.
See you in the morning, maybe.
Good night, everybody. Thank you as always.
Night.
Vancouver Island off the west coast of Canada. Still, Canada gets it before us here. Anyway, I'm off.
Good night, guys.
Cheers.
Thank you, John.
Bye.
See ya.